Good evening, fellow reefers. This is the 2-month status of this tank build, and it will be a quick walk around to where we are. Let's go. It's been a bit slow month. Aquascaping wise, you will recognize you to previous month. The deviation is probably the growth. You can see the setosa. It is actually growing quite good and quite well. Then, since I'm still running the system fishless, I'm feeding the corals quite a lot, but I am struggling. Phosphates, they've been approaching as low as 0.02 ppms, and the nitrates declined from 11 to 8. So actually I do see some bleaching for this green Montipora. Not sure if that is due to the nitrates and phosphates combined, or if it's due to trace element deficiency. So I am dosing trace elements and I am feeding, but else I think we're moving in the right direction and the corals are growing. Yeah, from this side, this Duncan on the left side here, it's grown a lot. Unfortunately, I am facing some issues with the vermitides. So let's get back to the plan on that one. The Hysterix doing well as well, but this one here, the Hysterix and the Calendrum showing signs of bleach. So, and then this fragmentation here on the Hysterix, that one I'm gonna trade very soon or change to a fellow reefer, so that one's gonna go out. Actually, aquascaping wise, since last month, the only thing I've done is to add puka shells here in this part. Then it's been mainly growing. Okay, on the development side, the main development has been in the sump area. So I now completed the connection for the second reactor. It's not running with media. I still use mixed media in that one, but that connection is there. And other than that, I think it's looking like last time. Here on the left side, I still have some wire management cabling to complete, but the sump is running quite good. And here on this side, I'm working on the piping for the UV filter and for the algae reactor. And here you see the piping for the UV returning into the chamber where I'll be growing some corals. And on the left, you also see that I'm doing, on the right, I'm doing bulling. So I got the bulling hooked up, but we need to do some freshening up. So it works. I don't have to do manual dosing anymore, but this is not the final solution. Final door of the tank. I do apologize for the mess here, but the tanks for the bulling, the supply, I'll work on the routing a little bit to make it look a little bit better. And that's the power supply for the UV. That one is not hooked up. And then I'm running 2 tanks of automatic top off. If we're getting into the issues which I'm facing and struggling with, this is one of the issues. First issue is that I'm fishless and I'm running fallow for this month, and I have 1 more month to manage. A bit worried about the corals. They seem to be, some of them are showing signs of bleach. But this issue is related to that the system I set up, it has been running quite high in humidity. So I've had a little bit about 1% daily evaporation but for a system this big, the house or the room haven't been able to cope with it. Okay, now it was at 53 when I started, but it's been as high as 60. So I'm dealing a lot with high air humidity in the house or in the room. And I think this tank we've had on YouTube before, but then it was a little bit different aquascape. But I restarted it, and I restarted the tank with sand on the bottom this time and a new arched rock. The main idea here with this tank is actually, see, you have a torch here on the left. It's actually to do quarantine was the word I was looking for. So the idea here is quarantining corals, and now currently I am quarantining this torch. Unfortunately, I recently had to deal with brown jelly, so I have medicated for brown jelly, but I did lose 60% of that colony, but it's still kicking, so we're learning. But this is in the same room as the previous, or the big tank, and to deal with the humidity problem by putting a lid here. I don't have any light demanding corals except of the hysterics here. The hysterics are obviously not quarantined. I'm using them just as indicators to see, what are the water qualities and do I have any risks of poor water quality. But yeah, to reduce the humidity in the room and the living room we're working, I did place a lid. It's an acrylic lid on top of this tank just to keep the air moisture in. And it's reduced the total moisture level in the room by approximately 7%. So it actually did do quite a lot to the room. And back here's the next part or the next project to cover with a lid. So I'm currently designing acrylic cover system and an acrylic cover system to cover up as much as I can of this sump area to reduce the air humidity of the room. I have to do that. So this is the final stop for this update. This is an old Red Sea Max 130, and here I've actually converted it to a quarantine. So I'm copper quarantining the fish. These fish are planned for the big tank upstairs. The tanks I'm not quarantining here just yet. Keep them in my local fish store actually. The point with this box here is, it turns out that that little fellow is probably a female, because the big female wants to beat that one up. Then I have 4 other clownfish at a fellow reefers. He's keeping one nano tank with them for now, so they're good as well. But yep, that's where we are. Kind of a lot of things going on. So this is running copper. It's copper sulfate at approximately 0.15 ppms. But it's working quite well. It's now running for 4 weeks actually, this quarantine, and it's running for 4 weeks. Fish are doing quite well, but yeah, they're gonna go in the copper system until the fallow period is done in the tank above. With that said, I thank you for your attention. Wish you a pleasant evening. Stay tuned. Bye bye.